Hello, everyone. This is Todd Lyons with Michigan Pool News. Thanks for tuning in this month. Again, I have Belinda Schmeg with S.R. Smith, and today she's going to talk a little bit about the ruling as it pertains to the wading pools and spas, because obviously as this thing's starting to heat up, people are having some more questions. So first of all, Belinda, thank you for coming today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Perfect. So, Belinda, as you're traveling across the country and seeing all the different applications and obviously being very involved with the rulings, what can you, in a synopsis, what can you tell us about the wading pools and spas as it pertains to the ADA?
Okay. First of all, as we get into, we'll talk about the wading pools first. The only point of access permittable means of access for a wading pool is a sloped entry. And that sloped entry has to be from the edge of the pool down to the deepest part of the pool. And what you're going to find in a lot of these situations, they do not have sloped entries. And the Department of Justice ruled that they did not want to cause an exorbitant amount of cost, and typically to rip up a baby pool and start all over to make it a sloped entry would cost tens of thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. So it is not readily achievable, and that is the part of the law that they're going to refer back to. And so what they would have to do, though, is if it ever becomes a situation where they're going to do a major renovation, and a major renovation is not considered painting the pool or putting a new pump or filter on it. It would be starting over and making a new wading pool. So in that instance, since it is not readily achievable due to the cost, they would need to document in their future plans that if they ever do a major renovation, that they would make the wading pool accessible by the sloped entry.
Okay.
And now we'll talk about spas. The only points of access that are accessible for a spa is a pool lift, a transfer wall, and a transfer system. In most situations, a lift will work. A transfer wall and a transfer system, depending on the size of the spa, may not work. So if all three of those are not workable, and there are going to be situations that they're not where it has too much of a wall or distance to go over that spa, and one of our high-low lifts would not work, and there is not enough deck clearance to put a wheelchair on there and mount a lift, and there's not room for a transfer wall or a transfer system, and there are stairs heading up to that spa, again, they're going to have to write into their future plans that if they ever do a major renovation, that they would then make it handicapped accessible.
Okay, interesting. Because when we filled out some of the deck profile sheets and whatnot so far, in doing so, and I guess what I'm encouraging everybody to do when they fill out the profile sheets to get those over with the proper data at that time, then it can be determined what is and what isn't feasible, and then if, like you said, then they can put a contingency plan into place if they should fall under some of those variables.
That is correct. Most spas that are out there are going to be able to accommodate a pool lift. Mm-hmm. Just based on the fact, even if they are a portable spa, then they would purchase a spa lift or a high-low lift, such as our PAL or our Splash, our high-lows, and would accommodate that.
We've seen a couple of the facilities that have very unique where there was not enough deck area to put a lift on there, and the way the stairs go up. So I mean, again, there's a few exceptions out there, but kind of like you said, yeah, a lot of the facilities are built pretty straightforward that there should be some sort of accessibility to put the lift in there.
That is correct.
Okay, good. Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss about the spas and the wading pools?
At this, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry with the wading pools and spas. If they again, the wading pools, their only option is a sloped entry.
Mm-hmm.
And the only options for a spa to make it accessible is a pool lift, a transfer wall, or a transfer system. And as long as they're following those guidelines and they meet them, if they meet those guidelines, if they can accommodate one of those, then they need to become accessible on that. But if they cannot meet accessibility, then that would fall under the readily achievable part of the Act.
Okay, perfect. As what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to post as much information on Michigan Pool News as it pertains to the ADA. Obviously, S.R. Smith has a great website in poollist.com. So between the two, if anybody had any questions or need to verify information from those two sources, they should be able to get the information they need. So, Belinda, once again, I appreciate you taking the time, and we will talk to you soon.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you very much.